Hi guys, Todd here again with TW Home Show. Today I wanted to introduce a new product. ONWOTE sent me this NVR system. This is a home security system. Could be used for your home or small business. And I did my research first. And then I noticed that this particular system had all the great reviews on Amazon. And I'm trying to transition over from my old home security system that I was running through a basic home desktop computer, dedicated, running Blue Iris software and miscellaneous IP cameras, most of them by Amcrest, all around my household here. So I wanted to get into something that maybe was a little less noisy, less cumbersome, and all in one package. And so today you're going to join me and follow me along as I learn all about NVR security systems. NVR stands for Network Video Recording System. So this is what I got here. Now I contacted ONWOTE and they sent me this one particular model. It's a 16 channel, can hold up to 16 cameras filming at once or recording at once, because it has a built-in video switching system to the NVR, which I wasn't aware that this is just like a standard switching system, which I already use with my desktop computer security, but it's all built into one. And one thing I know I won't have to deal with is the Windows updates constantly all the time on my dedicated desktop computer that I'm currently using. So this should be able to handle up to 16 4K cameras if I want. So they sent me this. I had to purchase my own hard drive, so I put a 4 terabyte hard drive in here, which was easy to install. It can actually handle another hard drive, so 2 hard drives it can handle. And also they sent me a few of these 6 megapixel cameras to try out with their system. And then I purchased a 4K, couple 4K cameras here and here. I got a pan and tilt one here too we can have fun with and try this out. So guys, stick around as we learn all about NVR systems together. All right, and we're back. So I'm going to show you a little bit around the home and show you what system I have currently that I'm working with. And as I stated, we are using Blue Iris software with some Amcrest IP cameras. They are wired in my attic. When we purchased this home, I went up to the attic and ran network wires to every corner of this house and have wired cameras in there. I also have a couple wireless, and I have some quick cameras that are solar powered, as you've seen some from my videos. I got UFI cameras, the doorbell UFI camera system, the solar UFI camera system out front. But these are my main ones that I want recording pretty much constantly if I can have it. I couldn't have it really with the desktop Blue Iris system I have currently, because that computer hard drive and all the PC boards in there would run, sometimes very fast, and take up 95% of my computing power within that desktop system. So I'm expecting a lot better with this NVR, and that's what I'm hoping for. That's what we're going to learn about today. So this is the monitor that currently monitors the Blue Iris, and it's in our bedroom here, so when we're in bed we can have access to this. If something happens, we can see what's happening quickly. That's just one place I monitor. And then if we go back here into my closet, you'll see that all my cameras, all my cameras come into this dedicated switch, this switch box right here, that are wired in, like I said, around my house. They're IP cameras. And here's the dedicated PC computer that's monitoring all that and running Blue Iris software. Now with Blue Iris software, if you can hear me over that computer, it's really loud. But my Blue Iris software runs through that, and you have to pay a subscription, almost I think $30 a month. Or $30 every 6 months, something like that, I forget. Maybe it's $30 a year. But with the NVR that you house yourself, you don't have to pay for software. So I'm looking forward to that. I do have this HDMI Wi-Fi control right here that actually throws the cameras to the monitor that I showed you out here. So there's no wire, so I like that. So I'm hoping with the NVR I can do the same and just use that HDMI Wi-Fi system there and send the cameras to that monitor. I'll leave a link to all the products here in the video description below if you're interested in any of the things that I'm talking about today. So that I'm hoping we can get rid of. But one thing I thought when I started using this system about, I don't know, 10 years ago and 2 houses ago, using Blue Iris and a dedicated home computer, I thought, well, I have more flexibility there. I could buy any name brand I want of camera. But come to find out, over the last few days since I've been messing with this ONWOTE NVR, as long as it's an IP camera that gives an address, you can use any make or model camera to any NVR system. And I thought, and that's why I didn't buy an NVR system, I thought you had to buy a complete package and you're stuck with whatever camera systems or cameras that came with that system. But you're not. And I believe if you have a Wi-Fi camera, IP camera, you can even hook a Wi-Fi IP camera up to the ONWOTE. So that's going to be a nice feature. Now, another thing, I want to make sure that the ONWOTE NVR system has a desktop PC application so I can pull it up from any desktop around the world. And I also want to make sure it has a good app that you can pull up and monitor your cameras from anywhere around the world, because we do RVing a lot in different seasons, and I want to be able to see and monitor our home network. So this right here, this is running off an app, IP Cam Viewer app on a Amazon Fire Stick, and I have it pulling my IP cameras currently. Now, they do have an app for ONWOTE, and I'm going to have to sideload that APK app onto the Fire Stick, which I might do later on in this video, so that we can have the ONWOTE system out here on an app as well. So let's go check it all out. All right, so I figure I'd do a bench setup first with a few of these cameras and see, maybe basically set up the system here in the office so we can find out together how quick and easy this may or may not be. So I've got it already powered in. Like I told you, I already installed a 4 terabyte hard drive into this NVR here. So it's all set up with the hard drive ready to go. So I've got the power hooked up. Now I need a network cable going to my home router, which all my other current cameras are hooked to as well. But we're gonna hook these cameras directly into our ONWOTE NVR system here, but it needs to be hooked up to a network at your home or small business. And here's where you plug in your network cable right here. There's a dedicated port right here next to the switching system for the cameras. So I'm going to plug it in here. Now we've got our mouse plugged in to the front, so we have control over the panel. Right here, I've got hooked up to my monitor, HDMI to the back of the monitor, and what do you know, we got a 4K HDMI port right here. Keep in mind, this monitor is not 4K. So to get the best quality out of your 4K cameras that you invest, you should be looking at it on a 4K monitor. In my case, I don't have it. And I found out once you get above, say, 5 or 6 megapixels, which they sent me, can't really tell the difference unless you're really trying to get that detail of maybe a license plate or something. But the 6 megapixel looks very good. But I also, like I said, I got some 4K cameras that we can try out as well. So I'm going to adjust this switch here. Oh, I got to turn this on. It's got a power switch on the back. And then we should see our NVR powering up with the ONWOTE icon there. And I think basically first you're gonna have to set up like your admin login and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and log in and get past that, and then we're gonna start plugging these cameras in. Stick around. All right, I've created my admin login, and we are greeted with this window, 16 panel window for all of our cameras. And of course, we'll be able to modify that to however many cameras we use once we get it all started. So I'm gonna start out with one of the cameras they supplied, the 6 megapixel camera. We'll go ahead, I've got a cable, network cable here, Cat 5E or Cat 6 cable. I'm gonna plug it into the port 1 on the back here. And we'll get this one fired up. Now these are weatherproof, guys, so you can mount these outside like I plan to do, or inside. They would look just as well inside. So we'll see if that just automatically shows or not. I'm not sure yet. I think you have to give it a minute. And I do have a green light starting to flash on the connector right here. Now these also come with mounting anchors and screws to mount them outside, and they also come with caps and seals here to seal your network cord connections outside so they don't get damp or corroded. And look at that, we do have our first camera hooked up. That was easy. Man, try to hook up an IP camera to a desktop computer with Blue Iris. You're not gonna get it hooked up that quick. All right, now I'm getting excited, so let's go ahead and hook up this. This is the 4K camera. We'll point this in a different direction. And I got another cord here for this one. Plug this one in here. And we're gonna go into camera port number 2 on the back. And we'll give that a minute. And we'll go ahead and start with this pan and tilt camera right here. And I do have another cable right here. I'll go ahead and start to plug this one in to our pan and tilt model, 4K. And we got our second camera going. That was quick. This is going to go into camera port 3. And this should power up. As you can see, it's starting to move. Hopefully you can see that if I got it in the picture. Let me make sure. So I want you guys to be able to follow right along with me so that we can see the results together and learn together about NVR systems. And that one should be, yep, right there. It's coming up right there. It's doing its reboot. It's rebooting the motor on here. Nice, smooth movement, guys. And it's quiet. I don't even hear this thing going. You don't hear it moving at all. So I want to see if I can switch to, let's do 4 windows. Right here, I'm in the menu. I go to multi-window and select 4 windows. There we go. Now, if we want to get to one of the cameras, see a full view, I'm going to double click. Nice. So guys, that's how you hook them up. I mean, the hardest part's going to be running the network cable out through your attic, or if you want to maybe get it out a window somehow and run it around the eavesdrop or whatever, and whatever you feel is necessary to get that cabling out. Now, like I said, I believe this can handle IP Wi-Fi cameras, which if I have one around here, I'll see if I do and see if we can hook that up. But I'm going to show you in a minute how not only can you run these directly wired from the camera, but I have some already, like I said, showed you in my office, and on a network switch, you can pull them up right on here. And I'm going to just try that right now. I'm going to double click to get out of here, and we're back to our 4-screen mode. And I want to go to, I'm going to right click, go to menu. And right here we got our camera 4. I'm going to click on that, and do search segment right up here, search segment. And it's going to search our Wi-Fi segment in our household here for any network cameras. So we're going to do search, and you get the hourglass comes up. Here you see discovered devices, 10 discovered devices. We don't have 10 devices out here, so these are some of my other cameras. So I'm going to go up here to camera 4, and I'm going to go ahead and right click. Whoops, I thought I was going to right click. Let me see. Let's check that box, go over here to edit, and I'm going to scroll through here, and now see I can see my other IP camera addresses. So on number 4, I got to select one for number 4, and I do have a print off of my cameras. I'm going to select, let's see, front door, and that's on 101 right here. I'm going to select that 101, come down here, enter the port number of that camera and username and password. So I'm going to enter the password here. This is the password for the camera, not for the NVR that you need to enter. And select OK. And we'll see if that works, if it's going to come up here. And it did. It just took a minute. Now let's go exit out of here. Right here, we're going to exit. Look at that, front door camera. So that's an IP camera, not directly connected to this, the switching ports back here, the 16 channels on the back of the NVR. This is in a switch in my closet, but it's on the same network this NVR is connected to. So it doesn't have to actually be connected to the NVR. It doesn't have to actually be a ONWOTE brand camera. So this answered a lot of my questions. Maybe it will answer some of yours too. Maybe you wondered too if you had to have all the cameras of the same brand and company. You don't. That's an Amcrest camera right there, and it's pointing at the front door, and it's working. So let me go ahead and get this NVR hooked up with the cameras. I'm going to hook a couple of these up outside, and then I'm going to take the rest of the cameras that I already currently have, the Amcrest, and plug them directly in here. And then we're going to come back and we're going to take a look at seeing all the cameras at once, the functionality you get from the admin panel here. Also, we're going to try the desktop PC app, and we're going to check out the app on our smartphone as well. Stay tuned. All right, I want to show you guys something, because on mine, I've got the camera mounted. I'm only mounting with 2 screws. It seems sturdy enough. 2 screws, less holes in the house, the better. And I've unplugged the network cable from the old Amcrest camera. Look how old that thing is. It's at least probably 4 or 5 years old. And that's an indoor camera, but it lasted really well underneath the roof here, outside, for all these years. But mine has this plastic sister tab, and this weatherproof sleeve won't fit past that. So I'm going to cut the black plastic tab off right here and just have that one. That one will fit. As you can see here, that one's going to fit. So let me do that. Right, cut that off. Now the sleeve should fit on past there. Oh. It's hard to do it with one hand, so let me go ahead and get this with 2 hands and I'll show you afterwards. All right, I got that sleeve on, and I put the rubber bushing in there. And that cap goes over it, so it's going to be tightened and sealed, weatherproof. Once this whole thing is inside there, and I put the rubber washer right here before I screw this on like this. All right, it seems I've got it hooked up, everything, all the cameras. I've actually got, this is showing 9, but I've got 10. There's one on the second screen. They didn't have a 10 window layout because of the, I guess, the structure of it. They did put one that had 2 corridor windows that were real long, and I'll show you that later on. But if we come in here into my closet here, you'll see no more desktop computer anymore.
The back porch temperature is 72 degrees.
So we got no more Blue Iris running. We've got the ONWOTE system here. That's the ONWOTE NVR recorder. And yeah, it's not very pretty. It didn't fit in there real good because of all my wires. Now I could have attached to here, but I didn't have the correct wings here, wing brackets that were long enough to reach the edge here to mount it in the rack like the other components here. So I got all the cameras connected directly into the ONWOTE system, except for a couple that are in my switch up here, where in the attic they split on another switch, and those I connected as I would any other with an IP address and a port number, which I already had set up. So with that being said, I'm very happy with it so far. Now I'm diving into the software part of it, the administration panel, and we're going to go and look at that next because I want to go over that with you so you guys understand it. And there's a lot to it. So you can learn a little bit on day 1 and probably 6 months later still be learning more features because it's jam-packed with features and different setups that you can do with all of your cameras. So like I got a mixture of cameras right now. I think I got just the one 4K pan and tilt that's at my front door, and then I put the garage cam. I think that is a 4K as well. I didn't put the 6 megapixels up yet, but all the other ones are my Amcrest cameras that are 1080p. So over the next week, I'll be installing outdoors and inside all of the 4K and the 6 megapixel ONWOTE cameras. But I didn't want to make you guys wait because I do have the system functional, and I'm excited to dive into it and show you how the app works. See if we can sideload that APK on a Fire Stick to show it above my fireplace. Hey guys, I think this is a great time to wrap this video up, and I want you to join me on NVR Systems Part 2 when we talk about the ONWOTE system and go through the admin dashboard of this and look at recordings, how it handles recordings on the 4 terabyte hard drive I installed, and also how the app works on a smartphone and on a Fire Stick. So make sure to join me on Part 2 of NVR Systems for home and small business security. I'll see you there.